Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Michael, and we're going to be getting right back into some more Reddit stories. If you enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's begin. This story was posted by a user named Father Son Holy Toast in the relationships subreddit. The post is titled, "My husband is making mean jokes and I want to help him stop before we have children. So grateful to have found this community and hoping that getting some outside opinions on my situation will help me understand things and figure out how to address this in a constructive way with my husband. I have been with my husband for 10 years, now married. I always knew I wanted to have kids only after I was married, and now that we finally are, I've allowed myself to start thinking more in depth about it, and I had an inconvenient realization. I could not bring a child into this situation without seeing change in his behavior. While he has this one bad habit, our relationship is not inherently verbally abusive, so I'm having trouble finding resources and stories from others who have been in similar situations. The good, he is a great provider. He would be a very fun dad. He is very generous and supportive. I love him. He loves me. The bad, he makes jokes that are hurtful and make me feel a fundamental lack of respect. I'm fine, but when I imagine myself as a child growing up with a father like him, I just can't even fathom how broken I would be. I know I need to address this before having kids. We have had conversations about this in the past, and it's just who he is, not aimed only at me, and I am a very sensitive person. The problem, how can I have a conversation about this with him? I'm not perfect, so why is it okay for me to point out his flaws? Is there a playbook here, a guide? I just can't stand feeling like I'm issuing an ultimatum or holding him hostage, and I feel so awful that I didn't have the insight or personal awareness to address this before we got married. I'm struggling to frame this in a way that is supportive, us as a team against this issue, instead of me attacking him. How do I address this? Edit. Thanks for the help and concern all. I don't know what this means for me, and it's a lot to process, but I really appreciate so many people sharing their thoughts with me. Not trying for kids, not off birth control, he barely touches me anyway. Under no circumstances would I bring a child into this situation currently. Update. I am 31 years old and have been with my husband, who is 43, for 10 years, married for 6 months. I posted on an advice subreddit and I'm realizing it is a bigger issue than I thought, so what now? I am having a really hard time digesting all of this. I read Why Does He Do That yesterday, and while I see some things that my partner does, it is not many and honestly not often. It really boils down to making mean jokes and giving unsolicited advice or critiques. That is all, and not all the time. I have been thinking it over for 3 days and he has not said anything bad in that time. When he does, it just sticks out in my mind because it is hurtful. Here is what I think I need help understanding. Is it possible that this is not intentional? He learned his behaviors from his mother and has low emotional intelligence. I know that he truly loves me. I cannot understand how he could do this on purpose. How is he such a truly great, supportive, and kind partner in other ways? Does that outweigh his faults? He is such a great provider, he supports my career and pays all of our expenses, which allows me to work doing what I love. This is a big sacrifice for him and something he did very intentionally for me. How could someone do that to someone they want to hurt? What if it really, truly is me? I am sensitive and insecure. I do make things that are benign about me when I am feeling down. I know these things are true. Couldn't it be a combination of an awful, outdated, unfunny sense of humor and me being hypersensitive to criticism? I think we both share fault here. Update 2. Okay, I talked to my therapist. I came armed with research and concrete examples of his manipulative, controlling, and demeaning patterns. She was supportive but firm and recommended that I reach out to my local domestic violence organization to help me work out a safe exit plan and get legal aid regarding the divorce. She said sooner rather than later, and I trust her. I am stunned. I feel like my whole world is upside down. I keep flipping back and forth between thinking, thank God other people can see this too. I'm not crazy and it is that bad. And he's my best friend, I'm heartbroken, and he's the only one there for me. He needs me and I could never leave him. I know I should leave, but I do not know what to do. I just want to talk to him and work it out, and hope this will all just be one big misunderstanding, right? I am heartbroken. I cannot have children here, but if I leave, I will be alone alone and also probably will not have children, and I will be broken and ashamed. All those conversations. He is going to want me back or want an explanation. I really think that is what I am hung up on the most. He has so little emotional awareness that I know he will not have any idea what I am talking about. I know he will think I am crazy. I want him to know what he has done, but he is not going to. He might never understand. We are so happy so much of the time, I do not know if I can do this. Anyways, hi, worst update, but you all were right. For anyone in a similar situation, Lundy Bancroft's "Why Does He Do That" was very eye-opening and described him in ways I could not articulate on my own. He fits the profile of the water torturer perfectly. Additionally, something very helpful these past few days, the hotline. They have a text or chat service, and for anyone out there like me, it is not just emotional or verbal abuse. It is abuse, and they are there to help and support. I spent a few hours over a few days just talking through things with people who really understood, and it was exactly what I needed. Please reach out if it is something you need. Update 3. Very recently, I realized that my 10-year-long relationship is not healthy. There is no need to go into details because the profile of a water torturer from Lundy Bancroft's "Why Does He Do That" fits him perfectly. Cruel, cutting remarks disguised as jokes or helpful comments. Constant criticism. That man could reverse a situation and shift blame better than anyone, even Trump. If I take a step back, it is impressive. All in all, it has taken me completely by surprise. In the last few weeks, I have found out that I am not the source of all our relationship troubles. I am not a complete failure as a wife, and none of this is normal. It is truly disorienting. Now I am biding my time. I have an exit plan, but I am saving for the next few months before I carry it out. It has been about a week. I am absolutely exhausted. All of that energy I used to spend twisting myself into exactly who I thought he wanted, regulating my reactions, and hiding myself. It is not enough. Not nearly enough. Now that I see these patterns in every interaction and spend my time cycling through rage, shame, excitement, and mourning, I am spent. Everyone, I have no idea how I'm going to get through the next few months. I am so excited to start living again, but it is overwhelming. Update 4. Brief background. My husband's verbal abuse and coercive control have increased over the past decade. I have recently realized the state of this marriage and am planning my exit. As I've become more aware of his behaviors and can see things more clearly, it has been harder to maintain my good wife attitude. I am standing up for myself more. I am growing concerned about my safety, but am not sure if the incident today is enough to involve the police. He has never been physically violent. Incident. Today, after I upset him by standing up for myself in a conversation, he talked for at least a full minute about how he would kill me as a joke. He said roughly that because I was speaking to him that way lately, he would kill me in my sleep. It would be easy because I am such a sound sleeper. Then he went back and said I am surprisingly strong when I'm asleep, and that it might give me an advantage. More talk about how easy it would be, then the part that bothered me most. No, if I'm going to go to all the trouble of killing you, I'd strangle you while you're awake. I'd want to see the light leave your eyes. I'd have to get something good out of it. The fact that it was fairly specific and in direct response to me upsetting him has me concerned for my safety between now and leaving, especially if he finds out or grows suspicious. My gut says it might be worth involving the police and moving up my exit timeline. My concerns and questions. Is what he said legally considered a threat? Is it actionable considering this is just based on my word? What would happen if I did choose to report this? Is there any way for me to report this without his knowledge? Update 5. I am not sure if anyone will see this, but I had such an outpouring of support across a whole bunch of subreddits, so I thought this might be the best way to give an update. First, thank you. Thank you all. Everyone who reached out with support, everyone who shared their stories, and everyone who pushed back and gave me the opportunity to form my own viewpoints and advocate for myself. Without the reality check that came from my post, I am sure I would have been stuck in this for much longer than I already was. The update, I am out. It was a long process, it was not linear, and there was so much self-doubt along the way, but I wanted to share the moment when it finally stuck. We had been going back and forth with the divorce. He was doing all the things, being the best version of himself, improving. There are lots more details, but ultimately they are not important. He kept asking, "Are you sure?" And I was not for a long time. He worked his magic, and I thought that maybe I had made the worst mistake of my life. But he kept asking, and I kept listening to my gut. I tried saying, no, let's call this all off and work on us. But that did not feel good. I felt heavy, like I was putting back on this huge burden that I had just started to get out from under. Then I tried saying maybe. I was being honest, I was confused, and I told him that. I said I needed time, I needed space. But that felt restrictive. It felt like my body was being compressed. And one morning I realized I had not tried saying yes yet. I had not tried telling him that yes, I wanted this to be over. So I tried it. I said, yes, let's end this. And it felt like all of the weight was lifted off of me. It felt like I could fill my lungs fully again. It felt like the kind of warmth in your chest that you get when your mom gives you a hug. So it stuck. I am learning to listen to myself again and to trust my instincts. I am not judging myself for my path to get here. I am treating myself with all the compassion and kindness I deserved for all those years. I am on my own path now, and it feels amazing to be here. So thank you all again for everything. Thank you for your concern and outreach. I am happier and healthier than I have been in a very long time. Mutual Butt Squeezin said, women, before describing the worst marriage you have ever read about, he is an amazing husband in every way. To this comment, user Melbatotes said, the internet really can be a great thing. I bet it never once occurred to this woman to Google signs of abuse. She probably watched dramas on TV or read books where people suffer emotional and verbal abuse, not just physical, and never realized that she has anything in common with those stories. But then she goes online and asks a, to her mind, simple question like, how do I make sure my amazing, wonderful partner doesn't bully our future children like he does me? And everyone collectively shakes her by the shoulders until she understands that she is not the problem here. This next post was made in the AITA subreddit by a throwaway account. The post is titled, I gave my wife an ultimatum on her male best friend due to what he did before our wedding. My wife and I have been married for about 5 years. Something I learned from her male friend's girlfriend was that he confessed his love to my wife the night before. She told me they got into a fight about this and figured I should know, so I confronted my wife about it and she admitted it. I yelled at her and asked how the hell she could keep this from me and how she thought it was appropriate to have him at our wedding. She told me she did not want to ruin our wedding day, and I told her she is not stupid enough to not know I would want to know this. See, this male friend always made me uneasy from the start. She told me that she has no feelings for him. After this, I don't know if I trust her. I told her that if she even wants me to consider staying with her, she needs to cut off her friend. Update. We are currently separated and I am in the process of divorcing my wife. Honestly, her hesitation in making a choice was too much for me. Just the fact that she needed so long to cut this guy out after he crossed the line and that she has so much trouble making it right for me speaks volumes to me. When I told her this and that I was leaving her, she tried to convince me and said she would cut him off. I told her it was too late at that point. I told her I do not trust her. I do not want to be with her. I do not want to deal with her again. I have been staying with a friend right now. One thing I wanted to address about my last post that kept coming up. Some of you said he's over her. He has a girlfriend. And I have to say, you must either be completely clueless or unable to read. His ex-girlfriend literally told me they got into a fight about this because he was not over my wife. That is literally why I found out. Because his ex told me about it. His current girlfriend is just another person caught up in the shit. Ms. Janet Snakehole said, if a friend tried to convince me to break up with my husband and date him, I would not want that person in my life anymore. How could you ever trust or feel comfortable around them or your spouse again? Is this really such an impossible choice for so many spouses of Reddit posters? To this comment, user include Big University said, yeah, I would have a little bit more understanding if the wife had cut the friend off at the time or at least taken a big step back from the relationship, but it sounds like she just went on like normal on top of not telling OP and still letting the guy come to the wedding. That strikes me as really odd as well, because even if your friendship eventually recovered, surely you would not feel comfortable having a guy who tried to convince you to run away with him attend your wedding, the same guy you were supposed to run from. Ideally, your guests should not be opposed to your wedding. Thank you so much for making it to the end of the video, and thank you also to partner of the channel, GamerSupps. Use code DLAM to support the channel and get 10% off of your purchase, link in the description. I'm sure many of you like me have a hankering for daily caffeine, so go check them out. Lately, I've been a big fan of Titty Milk and Acid Rain, but they've got dozens of other flavors for y'all to try out. Anyway, thanks again for reaching the end, and I hope you all have an amazing passage of the next 24 hours.